This is Michael Popak. You're at the intersection, and you're on the new Legal AF MTN YouTube channel. Every vote counts. We're doing early voting. Subscribe now to this new channel. We're building with our bare hands and your support. Now let's get to the intersection of law and politics. Well, that didn't last long. Irritating, boring, annoying. That could be adjectives used for a lot of people, but that's what Donald Trump apparently has said behind the back of one Elon Musk. I wouldn't really care about two billionaires in a pissing match, except in this case, Donald Trump has completely outsourced his get out the vote drive in battleground states to one Elon Musk. And now there's a lot of regular old Republican donors and Republican operatives that are saying Musk doesn't know what he's doing in the world of voting, just like he didn't know what he was doing in the world of taking over a social media platform, and he's wasting valuable time, and all to the detriment of Donald Trump. It is one of the reasons that Donald Trump is at risk of losing Florida. By the way, if he loses Georgia, he's done, and early voting already shows that people are voting double the numbers that they voted early in 2020, and those numbers were off the charts. That's all to the advantage of the Democrats. But what I'm trying to bring out here is that Musk's daddy warbucks, his super bucks, he and three other major donors to Donald Trump contributing $220 million. Where's that money going? I'll tell you where it's not going. It's not going into an effective ground game. It's not going to opening up field offices. It's not going into shoe leather. It's not going into voter registration, except for the whatever publicity they got from this ridiculous $47 if you register to vote bullshit. That's not how you win an election. How you win an election is, if you want to know, look over at Kamala Harris and her team. They're building grassroots. They're building field offices. They've already built field offices. They're activating those field offices. They're going door to door to earn the vote. And that's how you win a national election. Donald Trump thinks he can mean tweet his way. He can spend $220 million on billboards and social media. By the way, he's ignored social media as well. He's just doing big old-fashioned television ads. And it's too little too late. And that's why Republican operatives who know what they're doing say that it was one of the biggest mistakes. We may look back on this as one of the biggest mistakes Donald Trump ever made to fall in love with Elon Musk and his technology and allow him to basically take over the role of lining up the vote in battleground states. I mean, Musk has moved to Pittsburgh. He's moved to Pittsburgh in order to run the command center in the war room for Donald Trump. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's never done this before. I know people are all excited. Oh, he's building a rocket to Mars. Oh, look what happened. His lander just landed yesterday and two big metal arms came out and grabbed it. Oh my God, that's amazing. That doesn't help with the vote. How does that help with the vote? Okay, he's an evil genius that knows how to build some technology. I personally think Tesla is a piece of crap, but that's me. Okay? What does it have to do with learning how to get out the vote? We already saw what happened. Didn't Donald Trump see what happened when Elon Musk wandered into a business venture that he didn't know anything about and what he's done to it? See X, former Twitter, and the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that he's lost? Okay? And so he thought he'd be the guy who's never voted before, who's never run a voting operation before in the last waning days since Kamala Harris, that he was going to offload it to her. And here's the problem in Florida and why he's in desperate shape in Florida, Donald Trump. I know the numbers show he's ahead 2 or 3 points. I don't believe he is from my knowledge and experience of Florida politics and from people on the ground there. Because in order to win Florida, you got to activate DeSantis's apparatus. You've got to graft onto and bolt onto an existing apparatus for Ron DeSantis. But there's no love lost between DeSantis and Trump. They never made up. They never kissed and made up. Did you see Ron DeSantis at the Republican National Convention? No, you did not. Do you see Ron DeSantis running ads in Florida for Donald Trump? No, you do not. Do you see Ron DeSantis giving over his army of DeSantis people over to Donald Trump and Elon Musk to get out the vote? No, you do not. And Elon Musk and DeSantis don't get along. So you've got a problem here, a problem for Donald Trump that is little reported. All you hear is, oh, the America PAC for Elon Musk has spent $75 million since Kamala Harris has gotten the reins of the Democratic nomination. Okay. And I saw a headline today. Elon Musk and Sheldon Adler from Las Vegas, his widow, and the guy that owns Uline cartons and boxes, that guy, contributed $220 million. It's a drop in the bucket. Have they seen the numbers? Kamala Harris in less than 2 months has raised $1 billion with a B, $1 billion. I feel like I'm Dr. Evil on Austin Powers. It's unheard of. She didn't raise it in a year. She raised it in the time it took me to go to lunch. $1 billion against $220 million. I mean, I wasn't advanced in math in high school, but I know the difference between $1 billion and $200 million and what it can do. And more importantly, what she's doing with her money. Kamala Harris is right underneath our noses, is operating a stealth social media campaign that outmatches anything in terms of micro campaigning that Barack Obama was able to do with all of his data lists back in the olden days of 2008. She is putting a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars into social media campaigns and micro campaigns to get likely voters out for her and to aim at independence. Donald Trump has spent no money. I'm talking $10 million against hundreds of millions of dollars in social media. And it's too late. And then she's got the good old-fashioned field offices and enthusiastic people. People thought there was an enthusiasm gap. Oh, the Democrats are wringing their hands. They're not going to go vote for Kamala Harris. Really? The numbers in Georgia say something else. And if she wins Georgia, which is looking more likely based on early vote totals, and she wins and she's got a lead at least in polling of 17 points, Kamala Harris does, in early voting before Election Day voting, which is the majority of voting in this country. Out of the 140 million votes, 80 million or more are going to vote before the Election Day. And 60 million are going to vote on Election Day. Again, wasn't a math major, but 17-point advantage on an 80 million population of voters versus Donald Trump's 9-point advantage on Election Day voters of 65 million doesn't add up for Donald Trump. Donald Trump had thought he could phone this in. He watched, I guess, Joe Biden during COVID, a unique period, win the campaign from effectively his basement. And he said, I can do that. So he's like, we'll just do big rallies, put up a lot of billboards. We'll have mean ads. I'll say crazy shit out loud on the campaign trail. I'll talk about the enemy within and how we should turn tanks towards American citizens and put them in Trump internment camps and go after by name elected officials on the Democratic side that he wants to jail. That'll go over well. I'll stand on a stage and I'll rock to the music of the gay anthem YMCA and when Leonard Cohen's infamous ballad or infamous anthem of Hallelujah comes on, even though the estate of Leonard Cohen and Rufus Wainwright have come out and said cease and desist, don't do that any longer. We're just watching the de-evolution of Donald Trump in the last month and a half. I mean, the pressure's gotten to him. He's cracked. And now finally, the corporate media have woken up and said, hey, maybe he's mentally unstable. You think? Maybe turning over, look at the decisions. Let me just map this out on this hot take. Look at the decisions that Donald Trump has made since Butler, Pennsylvania, and the bullet went whizzing by his ear, right? Let's assume something happened that day to his head. I have no idea because I can't get his medical records. Let's assume something happened. He's compromised in some way. Okay. So here we go. Here's his big decisions. And tell me if this is the sign of a man that's stable, a mental genius or not. 1, he picks J.D. Vance as his vice president the day after Butler, Pennsylvania, with the whatever bandage on his ear. How's that going for you? J.D. Vance. We just run ads. All Kamala Harris does is run ads all day long with that puffy-cheeked, beardless J.D. Vance pushing his book back in 2008 and even after, calling Donald Trump the enemy of the people, an idiot, America's Hitler, a drug in America's arm, a loser, and the like. Okay, so you got that going for you. And then you have, that's decision number 1. Decision number 2, to go after the RFK Jr. vote, whatever that is, with all of his craziness, with all of his brain worm, dead bear cub in Central Park, anti-COVID, anti-vaxxer, election denier thing. So that's his second major decision. And his third major decision is to get into bed, I don't think literally, but who knows, get into bed with Elon Musk, who he considers to be weird and irritating, and give him, because he's got all the money, give him his ground operation for getting out the vote in the battleground states to a guy who's never done it before. These are his three big decisions. Contrast that with what you're watching, which is almost a perfect, exquisitely perfect campaign operation being run by Kamala Harris as the CEO of her own campaign. That's a sign of somebody that can be a leader of the free world, deserves to be the commander-in-chief, is earning your vote. Listen, I got to bring it to you right here. Elon Musk may be the Trojan horse that we've been looking for, because if he's not working for the Democrats secretly, it looks like he is. Okay? And if he tanks, and if Florida goes to Kamala Harris because of a lack of getting DeSantis inside the tent, because Elon Musk can't pull that off, and Elon Musk holds back just ever so slightly, and Kamala Harris and her well-organized troops in Florida can rally and they win Florida and they win Georgia, it just won't be over for Donald Trump. It'll be a crushing defeat for Donald Trump that may put MAGA out of its misery and put us out of our misery of having to look at Donald Trump and worry about him attacking Americans on a regular basis if he ever gets back into office. I'll cover it all. You're right here at the intersection of law and politics with Michael Popak. On a new YouTube channel, talk about voting. Vote now. Free subscribe and help us get to 250,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm even saying that number in the first 30 days of our existence before Halloween. Only you can do it. And not just you, bring other people here. Just have them hit that oval button. It matters. The bigger we get, the more your voice is heard here at the intersection of law and politics. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popak. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.